that. I also have a sweet little earpiece in, so if you turn on your mic and ask a question, I can hear. So feel free. And but no one else can see you. So this is just for your own comfort, so that you can meet your body in the places that feel good. Again, for props today, we're going to be taking Sun Salutation A and really exploring all the different variations in our body, right? And the purposes of each asana and the flow. To do this, I'm going to encourage you to grab a chair and or blocks. And because we're going to spend a fair amount of time on the knees, a big cushy bolster, a big old quilt blanket, a pillow from your bed, that's exactly what we're going to be using. So keeping that book or block close by, we'll make our way down onto the mat. And once you arrive, set that book or block within reach. Take a moment to check in with your body. Do you want to slide your heels closer to your glutes so that you can really let your legs press down as they relax through the pads of your feet? You might feel that now. It can help to close the eyes when we're working with sensation. Relaxing through the thighs and the calves, feeling the pressure of the legs through the pads of your feet. And then let your awareness wander up into the pelvis and low back. Can you feel your lumbar spine, your low back soften and relax into the earth? You can take a gentle rock from side to side with those hips, really inviting that low back to relax. And then the awareness travels up into the shoulder blades. They might be nice and separated now, but if it feels good, you might slowly walk those shoulder blades towards one another, opening up through the heart center. And then let the throat relax as the head softens down into the earth. Be here. Take time to arrive. Breathe deep into your body, filling this space behind your belly button, letting the belly rise, stretch, grow. And then as you exhale, you might release the breath slowly as you feel the body soften. Inhale deep. Big breaths, feel the stretch. Exhale, slowly soften, melt. Stimulating those vagal nerves, inviting our parasympathetic nervous system to come into play, bringing us into our rest, digest, and heal state, the state of embodiment. Continuing with those big breaths for as long as you like. We're going to grab our book or block and place it up underneath the head, just beneath the occipital ridge. So you have this nice rainbow-shaped seam on the back of your skull. It's the occipital bone there. And you might rest the head on the block or book. You might notice it feels good. Maybe it's a little achy or sore. Our goal here is going to be to press the back of the head down into that book or block. Keep the arms soft. Keep the belly soft. You're going to want to clench the jaw as you do this, but really see if you can remain soft everywhere but in the throat. We want the muscles around the throat to be doing the effort here. This isometric engagement of our muscles is going to create a really intense relief of chronic tension here. And this class is all about our throat chakra. So we're going to be doing a lot of moving, sensing, vibrating, and just in general sending energy up into the throat chakra, into the heart area to create space, movement, and flow here. When you're ready, relax the neck, relax all the effort. You might give it a little rock from side to side. And then once more, find that isometric engagement. Feel those neck muscles really show up. And then while the neck is engaged, while you continue to press that occipital bone down into the earth, you're going to slowly turn your gaze towards the left. This nice pressure point like massage. And you're going to rotate your head just as far over to the left as it would like to go. You might really be stretching, pressing that left ear down towards the earth. Either way, our goal here is to make it feel good, to get curious about it, right? And good can be hard, right? Good can be effortful. Good can build intensity, but it does it without ego, right? Good can also be soft and gentle and still. So many things. Listen to what the desires of your body is in this moment and see if you can't respond. Keeping that pressure, slowly roll the head back upright and then relax the muscles. Let it go. This is a lot of work, right? Because not only are you engaging the muscles in the front of the throat, but we're also using muscles in the low back to really help keep our strength, right? The body is connected. The lower part supports the upper part and vice versa. Once more, engage that effort, pressing the back of the head into the earth. A reminder here to relax everywhere else. Take a second. Find yourself back in the engagement of the neck. Feel the effort build as the shoulders try to relax. And then slowly, while you continue to press down, roll the head towards the right. Hang out here, exploring your range of motion. You might take a big yawn or sigh, a deep breath in, a messy, loud exhale. Let's do that twice more. Another way to press energy through the body. Slowly roll your head back upright and then release effort, relax. We're going to combine those loud, messy exhales with this isometric movement. Know that your body, give it breaks anytime it's asking for it, right? We set the ego aside. We show up here as the witness, full of love for whatever happens, right? Knowing that showing up is in the healing, right? Showing up is the healing part, not doing the things. So here we go. Press the head down into the earth. Take a big inhale into the belly. As you exhale, turn the head towards the left, messy and loud. Inhale, roll upright. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale. Exhale. And you can adjust the amount of pressure, right? The amount of effort that your neck is doing here. Feel free. If you feel silly, it might be a sign that we need to get even more loud and even more silly. Can you get loud or growl like a tiger or a lioness? Ready? And relax the head upright. Slowly remove that block. Excuse me. Let the head relax back down into the earth. And then an opportunity here to stretch the low back before we do a lot of front body opening. So pressing the right foot into the ground, invite your left knee up. You might let it free form, right? You might grab the back and pull it up, or the shin. Another thing that I like to do with my beautiful belly is sweep my knee out to the side, gently pull my tum-tum in, and then I find I have a lot more range of motion to explore because I've made space for my belly over here. So don't be afraid to explore what this looks like. You can also grab your strap, right? Wrap it around the back of the knee. Wherever you are here, take a moment. You might rock from side to side, using the pressure through the pad of that right foot to control this rock. You might feel a nice low back massage there. Beautiful. And then let's start warming up our hips by drawing circles with the knees. And you can really press your palms down into the earth to help support the torso as you draw these circles, just as big as your body says yes to. Right? And you might keep this knee bent. If you're looking to add a little more heat, you might extend the leg long, point through the toes, and draw those circles with your toes instead. We're just getting curious here. Warming up the low body. Switch directions when you're ready. 3 big circles. Take them extra slow, messy. Draw them just as big, as you like. And then plant that left foot, switch sides. Again, make space for your beautiful body in all the ways that it delights in. The more I make space for me, the easier it is to have admiration for myself, to care for myself, to nurture myself. When you're ready, big knee circles. Again, choosing your own adventure. And then let's do 3 big circles the opposite direction. Just as big as you can go. Extra messy, right? Whoo. You are just an explorer. You can't judge what's happening, right? You've never done these things just like this before. This is your first time. So we set aside judgment, which is ego, right? They're the same thing. The ego is what judges. It wants approval. It wants to be perfect. That's something that society has given us. We are not our ego, right? That is a gift we work for effortlessly to give back. You are the witness, right? And the witness is love. That's who we are. And all we're here to do is hold space for that and let the body open, right? That throat chakra open. A beautiful thing that we can do is vibrating those vocal cords. And the big, messy exhales and the audible sighs can be very helpful. In ancient yogic tradition, they would chant Om. It's spelled O-M, but it's pronounced A-U-M, sort of like ox is spelled O-X, but it's pronounced A-U-X, right? So Om is what we would chant again and again with the breath. And I invite you to join me. So we're just going to start a gentle sway in the knees. Don't worry, we're only 15 minutes into this. We'll be building heat shortly. So enjoy this gentleness, bringing warmth and mobility to the body. We're going to let the knees sway from side to side, and we're going to move with our breath. So on the inhale, the knees sway upright. As you exhale, let them fall to one side. Relax through the pelvis, the low back, right? The hips. On an inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, soften, let it all go. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Just like that. You might tee your arms out wide. We'll go palm up here. Only if it feels good. And then let's invite the neck into this movement. So whichever way the knees fall on the exhale, we're going to slowly rotate the neck in the opposite direction. So inhale, both head and knees rotate skyward. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. A nice full body twist, moving with the breath. And then an opportunity here to add an om to really slow the movement down. So on an inhale, we'll start together of your choice. Breathe that breath in. On an exhale, take it slow, right? Inhale, lift it up. Fill the belly. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Really let your jaw spread wide open on the One of my teachers said it was like the noise you make when you get into a delicious like hot tub or hot springs and your body is aching and you're just like, right? That's the energy we're going to let flow through the heart and the throat chakra with our breath. Once or twice more. Letting it be messy, letting it be imperfect. And then let those knees rise. From here, we're going to rock up into a boat pose. So you might draw the knees in towards the chest and start rocking. The brace really helps me. You might simply rock up, and we're going to land on our sit bones and then plant our toes on the earth. So finding this little balance here. When you are ready, pressing those fingertips forward, we're going to lean the heart center back. About a 45-ish degree angle, right? Or as far as your body says yes to. From here, you might play with rocking back slightly and lifting the toes for balance. If that feels good, you might play with extending one or both legs. Regardless, play, touch down anytime you like, right? Get curious. Breathe deep into your belly for another big breath. And then on your exhale, rock forward. As you inhale, grip those knees, create space for the belly, widen them out, right? On an inhale, we're going to lift the heart forward. And I'm bracing my hands here on the knees or the shins, squeezing my shoulder blades back, making space for my heart and belly. Maybe your knees are together because you don't have the sweet belly I do. That's all right. Heart stretches forward, and then we're just going to lift our chin skyward here. Feeling the throat lift and open. Take another deep breath here. I'm really gripping the knees. And then on an exhale, we're slowly going to rock back into your version of boat. Maybe it's this. Ooh, I like this, right? So many beautiful ways we can play with our bodies just as an explorer. Remembering that deep breath whenever we put in effort in our muscular body or in our mind, right? We tend to shallow hold the breath. Breathe in deep, let the body shake, let it shimmy, let it quiver. And then when you're ready, an inhale rocks you forward. Or an exhale, whatever. We'll let it be messy. On your next inhale, brace the knees or shins. Lift tall through the throat. Breathe space into the heart and the belly here for a few breaths. On your next exhale, your last boat of the day, I promise. Maybe your body's like, make it real gentle on me because we have some work to do together. Maybe your body's like, bring the heat, right? You do you, boo. Know that there is space for your body to be wherever it is today. And that is beautiful, right? The beauty isn't where your body is at today. The beauty is in you knowing how to meet it there. That is the power, and that's always been the power. All right, when you are ready, and exhale this time, rock forward. Let that breath go. Inhale, brace the shins, rise through the chin. Breathe space into the belly and the body. And then from here, let's find a bound angle or butterfly pose. So Baddha Konasana. Pads of the feet come together. The knees fall out wide. The body's already headed there, right? You can draw these heels closer to the groin if that feels good, or lengthen them further away. Either way, we want to invite the belly into this open space so that our spine can remain nice and long. We're just going to press length through the top of our head. Finding a nice forward fold here on an exhale. Slowly begin to melt the belly and the heart into this empty space we've created. With each deep breath, open the jaw wide. We're going to look ridiculous and it's going to feel amazing. Each deep breath in as you slowly fold, right? Again, it's not about how far down you go, right? It's about meeting your body where it is in this moment without judgment. Each deep breath into the belly opens that jaw nice and wide. You might even take 2 fingers of each hand and massage those masseter muscles with each inhale. Just press in. Each exhale, soften and release. And then if you haven't yet, you might eventually let the top of the head melt on down towards the earth, relaxing through the back of the head, the cervical spine there. If it feels good, you can brace the toes and use them as an anchor to invite the belly and the heart a little further towards the earth. And then when you are ready, press down through the outside edges of your feet to slowly curl up vertebra by vertebra. The head is the last to rise. Once the head is floating upright above the shoulders, we'll gently roll the shoulders back, squeezing those shoulder blades. Beautiful. From here, we're going to move into cat-cow. Now, you might do this by rocking forward. For me, I'm going to have to turn around. This is a beautiful opportunity to set up your chair and or blocks if that's what you're using. Know that you can use neither of them if that is your preference. And then we're going to head on up on our blanket or bolster. Now, if you're using a really tall bolster, elevating the hips is going to put more weight on your wrists once you get into tabletop. So, right, you can see the higher my hips are, the more of my body weight is up here in my shoulders and wrists. So for protecting the knees and the wrists, grab yourself a set of blocks. Lift the earth. If you've lifted your hips to cushion or your knees to cushion them, lift the earth to meet the hands. So I'm going to enjoy. My body says yes to this weight on my wrist today, and it does not always. So here I am in tabletop. On an inhale, we're going to drop the belly down low, curl the tailbone up towards the sky, and then reach the chin towards the wall in front of us. Your goal here is to feel the stretch all the way from the tip of the chin down through the front of the throat, down through the heart center. With each breath in, you might feel the belly stretch down in the hips and pelvis. We're opening the whole front body from chin to tailbone with each breath in. Bidalasana, cow pose, is one of the most powerful postures we can meet ourselves in. On an exhale of your choice, begin to curl the tailbone into cat. We're going to press the mat away, bringing some space between those shoulder blades. And then let the top of the head hang towards the earth. Relax your jaw, relax your neck. Now, instead of creating space between the chin and the tailbone, we're closing up that space. It's more like the chin and the tailbone want to reach each other. And you can press the palms into your mat to really see how close that chin wants to get towards that tailbone as you curl the tailbone in, lengthening through that lumbar spine, the low back. Hang out here for another breath or two, really finding this exaggerated C shape in your spine. And then let's flow. On an inhale, drop the belly low. Exhale, cat. Inhale. And you might continue this traditional inhale and exhale flow. You might add a little spice to it, bringing some hip circles in. Your transition, some neck circles. Some folks call this scraping the peanut butter jar. Trying to get every last bit of peanut butter out of the jar. If you're doing this, go ahead and switch directions to find balance. Beautiful. And then from here, an opportunity for a wide-legged child's pose, as my hair keeps falling in my face. We're going to spread the knees out wide, and then keeping the toes curled if you've got a bolster or a thick blanket. We're going to sit the hips back towards the heels, and then slowly lower down onto our forearms, letting the heart melt towards the earth. Now our goal here is an opening of the front body, so you might stretch the arms out long, feeling the opening in this armpit area. Maybe it feels good like this. Maybe your body's like, heck no. Go as low as the witness as you need. Know that it's right, that it's powerful, wherever you are meeting yourself today, however you are meeting yourself today. We'll invite a little extra stretch into the throat by pressing once more the chin forward. You might even let it rest on the earth. There's no way, mine says no. Pressing the chin forward, breathing space into the front of the throat. And then when you are ready, slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, keeping the elbows tucked in towards the side body. We're going to press ourselves up onto our knees, just like this, all the way up. All right, from here, we're going to do an Anjane Asana. So stepping the left foot forward. On an inhale, you might sweep the palms up or meet them at the heart center, right? Honoring those rotator cuffs. Either way, our goal here is to lift through the heart, lift through the top of the head, and we're opening up the front body. So you can see how lifting the arms and pressing those thumbs back behind you, squeezing those shoulder blades can really help. It might feel better in this moment to lower the arms onto the hips, slide the thumbs towards one another, pressing the heels of the hands into the low back. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting through the head and the heart. Play. Which one does your body enjoy more this morning? Guess what? There are no metrics or morals to either one. They're both beautiful. They're both going to get the job done. Heck yeah for meeting yourself there. When you're ready, you switch sides. Sweep that leg back, step the opposite forward. I am loving this hands on the hip situation. I'm going to keep it there. Press the hips forward gently. Lift through the heart and the head. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. We're just opening up the front body. right? The body is connected. So as we open up through this left front hip flexor, right? As we open up through the belly, through the heart, we're also finding space here in the throat. Each breath into the body, you might feel that cool air flow down through the throat. Know that that too is moving energy. That too is releasing stuck tension. That too is teaching you to be present with this beautiful part of your body. When you're ready, step it forward into a forward fold. And this is where the chair is going to come really in handy. If you don't have a chair, an ottoman, your bedside, or nothing at all, you choose. But we're going to step forward by leaning forward. You might grab the chair, you might not. And we're stepping forward into a forward fold. So for this forward fold, I'm going to take it a little wider than hip distance apart, making plenty of space for my belly. And then just melting the heart down, melting the top of the head. And again, if you have a sweet tummy, we're just going to open the knees out wide, just like we did on our backs. Lower that belly down, and then bring those knees back in. Lengthening them towards straight, but definitely not hyperextended. As the heart hangs heavy, the hands, the head melt towards the earth. From here, we're going to find a flat back. On an inhale, you might reach up towards chair or blocks, making tabletop now, but standing, right? This is beautiful for strengthening the low back, for strengthening those hamstrings. You might hang out just like this, pressing into your seat, or you might build some fire, build some heat by bringing the palms in towards the heart center. Either way, we're pressing strong through the pads of the feet, right? You're feeling the muscles of the legs engage as you actively press down. On your next exhale, melt the heart back into a fold. On an inhale, we're going to lift to chair pose. So bending the knees, sitting the hips back towards the earth. You might press up into your chair, or you might bring palms towards the heart center, hanging out in Utkatasana. Let the body shake. Take a breath or two here. Just like in tabletop, right? Just like in half lift that we just were, we're engaging, pressing down through the legs, feeling the heat build. What shakes, shakes. It's a beautiful release of excess energy. And then on an inhale, sweep the arms up to standing. Exhale, palms at the heart center. Beautiful. Keeping this nice sweet bolster back behind us, we're going to move into Sun Salutation A's. The first thing I'm going to show you is one of my favorite variations when my body needs gentleness from me, right? So if your body is needing gentleness, this is a beautiful way to explore it. If you're not seeking gentleness, we will move into other variations in a few minutes. So I'm going to pull this bolster a little closer because we're going to use it for that Anjaneyasana type pose, right? Getting ready for my first forward fold. Making space in my feet so that there's room for the tum-tum. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. As you exhale, we're going to sit into Utkatasana. On an inhale of your choice, stretch those fingertips up, or simply reach through the top of the head with the heart, with the palms at the heart center, right? Honoring the hands. On an exhale of your choice, fold down. Take your time there. Make space for your belly. On an inhale, and it's when I say on an inhale, I mean whichever freaking inhale you want. Maybe it's the first inhale after I mention it. Maybe it's the sixth inhale. Either way, on the inhale of your choice, lift to your flat back. Exhale, melt back down. Keeping the hands on the chair, we're going to step our knees back. This is where I'm like, find your bolster or blanket. Step your knees back. Finding plank. So for plank, we're going to move the hips forward. Finding it just like this. Now for chaturanga, you might slowly bend the elbows, tucking them in towards the side body and lower your heart center down. You might be like, oh, this is enough. Listen to your body. From your chaturanga, we lift into cobra. So we're lifting the chin skyward. You might melt the heart forward just a little bit more, finding an arch in the back. And then on an exhale, press the hips back, lower the heart down into our version of down dog. We're really melting through the armpits, right? We're stretching the upper body here. And then on an inhale of your choice, rise back up. We're gonna stretch that right foot out. On an exhale, step it forward, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up if that feels good. Exhale, find your chaturanga, find your plank. Lower if that feels nice. Lift the heart and chin to cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Take your time. On an inhale of your choice, rise up, lift that left leg back, pointing through the toes. On an exhale, step it forward. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale to plank. And then continue to cobra. Inhale, lifting through the chin or heart. Exhale, press back into downward dog when you're ready. Hold and melt. Feel those armpitties stretch. If you want to bring space to the knees here for the tummy, do so. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift all the way up into a forward fold. So stepping forward, whichever foot you would like. Melting down. On an inhale of your choice, lift to that flat back, pressing strong through the feet. Exhale, chair, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sweep the arms down by your side for Tadasana. Palms can face forward or face the body. Either way, rolling the shoulder blades gently back, opening through the heart, pressing strong through the pads of the feet as you rise tall towards the sky. All right, so that is Sun Salutation A, using all of my favorite props. Now, I'm going to show you some of the more traditional variations. These have no additional moral value. They're just a different way to do the same thing that we're just doing. So I'm going to set this aside for now. I'm going to keep the chair just in case, right? But I'm going to show you what a very traditional Sun Salutation A looks like. So on an inhale, using bolster, chair, props, whatever makes you feel good, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, lift through the head. Exhale, melt into your fold. Make space for your belly. Take a breath or two here. On an inhale, lift into your tabletop. Exhale, chaturanga. Now, if we're not using a chair, you could step back into a traditional chaturanga, keeping the elbows tucked in towards the side body and lowering down. Or we can lower the knees down and slowly melt into our chaturanga just like this. Either way, let's all meet on our bellies. We're going to release the tops of the feet, softening them into the earth. Lift through the top of the head, pressing that chin towards the wall in front of you. And squeeze those shoulder blades back, right? I'm not even using my hands for this. I'm just lifting through the strength of my back body, squeezing the shoulder blades, opening the heart. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, press down through your arms, lift up into your cobra. Now, cobra can be this, cobra can be this, cobra can be this. You might play with up dog by pressing into the tops of the feet, letting the pelvis and thighs rise. Decide what feels good for you. And then from here, we'll meet in down dog, curling the toes on the mat, sitting the hips back up towards the heels, right? You might hang out just like we did earlier. This is absolutely a version of downward dog. You might instead lift the hips towards the sky, walk the feet forward just a little bit. And then our goal here is to melt the heart back towards those big toes. You might take a gentle bend in the knees. And then I'm really pressing through the heels of my hands. And then all of those big knuckles. So my fingers are sort of just like hanging out as extras. Really pressing through the palms, just like we press through the pads of the feet. Beautiful. From here, on an inhale, we're gonna lift that right leg. Exhale, step it forward. And you might, from here, lower into your Anjaneyasana asana and lift. Beautiful. You might, from here, right, from your downward dog, from here, step it up into warrior one. What this looks like is rising up into a high lunge. Then you're gonna take that back heel, sweep it in slightly, plant the whole pad of the foot. So we're bending into this front right knee. Inhale, lifting those arms. Right? It's just like Anjaneyasana, it's just standing. Warrior one. Beautiful. On an exhale, step it forward. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Your version of a chaturanga. Keeping the elbows tucked, we lift to your cobra on an inhale. Hang out here for as long as you would like. On an exhale, we curl the toes on the mat, lifting back to your version of downward dog. Hang out here. You might walk the dog. You might shift the hips back and forth. Movement can help us endure suffering. So if we're finding that we're not encountering pain, but rather intensity in the body, move in the midst of it. It can bring a lot of relief. On an inhale of your choice, lift that left leg. Exhale, step it forward into your version. Inhale, lift through the head and the heart. Hang out. Whew, you see me sweating out here in this heat already? Bring it, love it. Beautiful. On an exhale, plant the hands. We're gonna step back into your version of chaturanga, plank, modified plank, using the chair. Cobra, leading with the head and the heart, right? The arms are an afterthought. Hang out, feel your power. Lift through the heart, lift through the chin, open that throat. And then exhale, your version of down dog. Hang out, walk it, wiggle. Ooh. Take your time. And then on your next breath in, look forward towards the hands. As you exhale, walk, step, skip, jump, hop, wiggle to the front of the mat in a forward fold. Sorry, I had to. Let the top of the head hang. Meet yourself here. On an inhale, find your flat back for tabletop. Exhale, melt. Inhale, sit the hips back, lift through the heart. Utkatasana. Hang out for a few breaths. Feel the strength in the legs. And then on your next breath in, sweep the arms out, rise up. Exhale, palms towards the heart center. Do you love me yet? All right. Our goal really is, in opening up the throat, is opening up the whole front body. So, we're gonna run through that one more time, and then we're really gonna get deep into the hips to open up the heart and the chest. It's beautiful. We're gonna play with some lizard pose for our peak pose. So, from the top of your mat, getting ready to play with these postures with all of the props that you would like. Ego, What is that? We are the witness. We are love. We are here to experience this moment without judgment, because that is where you find the gifts, my friend. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Hold here, press through those legs. You are strong. On your next exhale, forward fold. An inhale brings you to that half lift, Ardha Utkatasana. Exhale, melt. Plant the hands, step back into your version of plank and lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, your version of down dog. This one feels good. Hang out here. Move, shift the hips. Be in your version of down dog. Let it be beautiful. Let your sighs, your exhales become audible. Maybe it's in pleasure, maybe it's in frustration because this posture is hard. On an inhale, lift that right leg. Exhale, step it forward, either into Anjaneyasana or that warrior one. Hang out and be. On an exhale of your choice, back down to Chaturanga. Lower your body down, however, to your cobra. Exhale, downward dog. When you are ready, an inhale lifts that left leg. Exhale, step it forward. Your version, warrior one or Anjaney. Hang out here. Let the heart rise. Let the throat open as we press to the top of the head. And then exhale, find your plank, your chaturanga. Last time. Cobra when you're ready. Exhale to your version of down dog. Hang out here, big breaths. And you can switch, right? Like maybe this is your downward dog for a breath or two. And then you lower, right? Like we give ourselves permission. We throw away the colonized values that tear us all apart. We meet ourselves in our own wholeness, and we move from that space. When you're ready, an inhale looks forward. We're going to step, hop, dance towards the top of the mat. Find your fold. Melt on down. Take a moment here. And then from your fold, an inhale to that half lift. Ardha Uttanasana, that is what it is called, my friend. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Sit those hips back. On an inhale, Utkatasana. Beautiful. On your next breath in, sweep the arms out. Rise up. Bring those palms towards the heart when you're ready. Are we not so powerful? From here, grabbing that big old bolster, we're going to find our way back in Anjaneyasana. So we're going to place our right knee on the mat, step our left foot forward, and then again, we're going to meet our hands on the hips, sliding those thumbs towards the spine and planting the heels of your hands on your low back. As you lift through the head and the heart, right? This big opening is happening. We're going to slowly shift the hips forward. And as you do, your goal is to soften into this front right hip flexor. Can you relax it fully? And then for some folks, arching the back like this can be really hard because we already have compressed lumbar spine from, we can talk about that in future sessions. So it's really important that as you shift the hips forward, you're also pressing the heels of the hands down into the tops of the top of the pelvis to really keep space in the lumbar spine as you lift through the head and the heart. Moving as moving as far forward as feels good. Know that the more forward you shift, the less pressure is on the knee joint, the more it ends up throughout the rest of the leg. When you're ready, we're going to lengthen through that front left leg, sitting the hip back towards that right heel, and then lowering the heart down towards the earth. Your goal here is going to be to take this toes, stretch them in towards your heart as your heart stretches towards the toes. So a little counter movement here, counter posture for our big, big opening. Where do you feel this stretch? Can you play with it? Can you notice if you shift or move the hips, how that might change, or the toes? Take a moment, explore. And then rise up. Let's switch sides. Give this knee a break, right? This is why we want all the cushions. When you're ready, heels of the hands, find the low back. We're squeezing those shoulder blades together, squeezing those elbows together. Lifting through the head and the heart, and then sitting that pelvis forward, stretching through that front left hip. Can you feel those muscles soften? As muscles that have been chronically tensed and fascia that has been chronically tensed begins to stretch, it brings with it a lot of intensity. And it's not sharp pain, right? It's just intense. And we can do so much with that intensity by bringing awareness to it and then softening into it. So you might invite your mind to travel down anywhere in your body where the muscles are like, and then take a deep breath. And on your exhale, imagine that intensity melting, those muscles softening. When you're ready, I am ready. Counter posture here, stretching the heart towards the toes and vice versa. One of my beautiful teachers told me that the best part of yoga is when it's over. She is an Ashtanga teacher. And it's true, right? When we're doing things like this that are high intensity, it can be such a struggle, right? We're working to set aside ego or feeling sensation, let alone all the physical effort that's happening here. But the beauty is when it's all over, those endorphins and that dopamine flow through you. It's beautiful. When you're ready, rise up, switch sides. So here's the thing. We're going to take this into lizard pose. My encouragement for you is only go as far as your body would like, right? It's our theme for our whole lives. For yoga asana, right? Find your placement. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Gently sink the pelvis forward as you lift through the heart and the head. You might hang out just like this still, or it might make sense for you to come forward. And you can do this with a chair. You can do this on blocks, right? We're going to slide our tummies inside this left thigh because there's all this space here. And we're slowly going to melt down. Now, as the torso melts down towards the earth, we still want to stretch through the whole front of the body. So we're going to lift our chin towards that wall in front of us, right? We're really still stretching here. And no matter how low, as I move this sweet, sweet chair, no matter how low you go, you're still pressing that chin forward. Invitation, wherever you've planted your hands, to really anchor down through that right arm, right? So your left leg is up here, your right arm is up here, and on an inhale, you're going to sweep that opposite arm skyward, coming into a big twist. Oftentimes I'm tempted to rest into this shoulder, but I really want you to press length and strength into that shoulder as you twist your heart center around. Let your gaze follow this outstretched hand and then bring it back in. Slowly walk the hands back for our counter pose. Take your time. We're almost done. I love it. Rise up when you're ready. Switch sides. Oh, our hips are going to be talking to us. It's lovely. Be where you want to be. Take your time getting there. Invite the belly into these beautiful spaces. Remember pressing the heels of the hands down, lifting through the heart. This helps with so much of our back pain too, right? Because we're stretching these hip muscles, these hip flexors that get so tight and tweak our pelvis. You might continue to melt down, planting those hands on the inside of that right thigh. Listening to your body as you soften through this front hip flexor over here, as you relax everywhere where intensity builds. My body says no lower. This is far enough for my good, my connection with self, for my nurturing. So I'm going to stop. Plant your left hand firm into the earth. When you're ready, sweep the right open. Right? Find length in your arms. It really helps us with this twist as well. Hang out here for as long as you like. And then bring it on back. Counter pose. Walk the hands back nice and slow. We move slow to protect these muscles and this fascia that have put in so much effort. Beautiful. From here, sweep the right leg back. We're going to take our knees off of the blanket or bolster in front of us. We're going to take a wide-legged child's pose. So you might bring big toes together, knees out wide, and then slowly coming on down to forearms, melting the belly, melting the heart. You can really use this blanket or bolster to support that heart center. And then you might lengthen the arms out in front of you. Just letting the heart center melt. As we end our practice, you might hang out like this, or you might lengthen your legs out into a lizard type pose. Maybe you stack the hands and rest the forehead. All of it is beautiful. Be where the body says yes to. As we end our practice, an invitation to come back to your Om, which isn't only a beautiful way to stimulate the vagal nerves via the vocal cords, but it is a beautiful way to connect with self. So with a deep breath in, fill the belly and lungs. On the exhale, start your Om. Om. Can you let your jaw fully relax? Om. Om. Continue for as long as you like. Each time we bring movement via effort, engagement, vibration, stretch, or just simply awareness to the throat, the neck, we begin to heal it. We begin to find movement and flow. We begin to have words where we used to have none. To be able to advocate for our needs when we were scared to before. There is so much beauty in opening the throat chakra. And it's all rooted in knowing that you are love. Not that you are loved, because of course, but that you are love itself, walking around in a body and a mind, these tools at your disposal to experience life. And when we don't speak up for ourselves, when we can't own our own love, our own worthiness, Our chakra centers begin to close. The throat being one of the most detrimental. So each time through the rest of the day, the rest of the week, each moment where you want to speak but are scared, each moment where you don't see your own worth, pause. Breathe deep into your belly. Remember your time in practice here on the mat, exploring who you actually are, not the ego that the world has impressed upon you. Remember, breathe deep, find your Om if you'd like, stimulate those vagal nerves, bring yourself into a place of embodiment, and remember, you are love. Whew. We'll end our practice just like this. You might begin awakening your body, a stretch, a roll, a twist. We've gone over. As you do, remember that the light and the dark in me sees the light and the dark in you. And we're the same. And I say we're the same not because we have the same body or the same mind or the same experiences in life. No. I say we're the same because I am love like you are love. And our practice here is meant to just uncover that. And when I own it in me, when I can see it more clearly in me, I can see it more clearly in everybody else, in everything else. So the work that you're doing is so powerful, so healing. Take a moment if you like, show yourself some gratitude for showing up. Damn, you are powerful.